Spoiler alert, the following podcast includes discussions on film that may potentially, intentionally or inadvertently, reveal plot twists, character traits, story details, up to and including endings that might otherwise be considered spoilers. Proceed at your own risk.
You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
Sounds like some bad movie.
What's going on, everybody?
Hi, Joey.
Hi, Scott.
I brought a friend.
You brought a
to the
friend.
show.
You did.
I brought a friend to the show. Yeah.
In my mother's tongue. I do not know what to call this friend. I've always called him Mr. Wilson or Hey, how you doing?
Your mother's tongue has nothing to do about this.
Huh. How you doing, Joey?
Hey, what's happening? I'm honest. I do I call you Mike? Michael? What's happening, Mike?
Yeah, Mike's all right.
Mike's all right.
Mr. Wilson to you.
Or Mr. Mike.
I've only ever called him Mr. Wilson, so I don't know. So we do have a special guest tonight. It's Scott's dad, Mr. Wilson, or Mike, and he's here to help us review the film Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, or Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula.
Now, he's actually going to be co-hosting our other podcast that we haven't done in a while. We kind of have been on hiatus. It's a cultural, political podcast called Strangers in a Strange Land.
Yep.
And he's going to be joining in and maybe doing some solo episodes with me. And we're doing that. We record that show after this. And I was like, well, he's seen Dracula. Fuck it.
It should be an interesting review, depending on how long ago he's seen Dracula.
It's been a while.
It's okay.
Good, but
That's the
fresh
best
in my memory.
That's the best way to have seen this film 10 years ago.
Well, before, I guess Scott just jumps right in and just totally trounces this movie.
Well, can I preface this? Because I admitted when we talked, I said, well, all right, I saw this film when I was like 21, 22. I was working the 1 a.m. shift at the post office and projecting at the movie theater at night. I was living on 4 hours sleep and was dosing on NyQuil in those 4 hours to get sleep. So I was not at my mental best. When I saw the film opening night, I was like in between jobs on a NyQuil after fever. I fell asleep during the train sequence, woke up to severed heads. So I couldn't honestly say that I had dedicated myself to watch the film. I said, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. This is a good challenge. Let me go back and watch this, see if I have a different opinion 20 years later.
24 years later. It's celebrating its 25th anniversary in the next 6 months, I think. Anyway.
I'm rounding.
I understand. Well, I'm rounding, actually.
No, it's been 20 some odd years later, and nope, still don't like it.
I kind of figured that you wouldn't, because as I rewatched it, I'm like, yeah, Scott's not going to like this. And I'll agree with you that I have my issues with the film too. More so, the issues that I have are more of the romantic love story aspect of it. I just really don't care for it. Period.
was like watching. It was like watching Age of Innocence mixed with Twilight.
And I was thinking of challenging that to you, just really,
What, Age of Innocence?
Yes, but it doesn't fall within our. It doesn't fall within our Halloween theme. But I was like, you know what? That would be horrific to Scott.
It might be the breakup of the show right there. That might be
it
Dude,
might be.
I saw that in a theater in New York City.
Sorry.
It's one of that's one of those. Age of Innocence is one of those films you're watching it in the theater, and it's like after hour 2 has come and gone, every scene is like in the back of my head. This could be the ending scene. This is I can see it ending right here. It's just. I mean, every
when you
scene
saw
was
it,
a fucking cheat.
Did you at least see it for a woman? Were you at least trying to get some?
I was taken to it by a woman,
okay.
And that should have been the warning, right there. But yeah.
Hey, look, there's Anthony Hopkins as the priest. I don't know why. It's just like Coppola couldn't get someone different for that. It's like, hey, you want to do 2 people? And he's like, sure, I just won an Oscar. Why the fuck not?
Let me interrupt us and jump over to my father and and jump right in with any thoughts, any memories or thoughts you have on the film. Just off the bat.
Keanu Reeves was just. He should not have been casted in. He was. I think Francis Ford Coppola said that he openly criticized his own reasoning for casting him. Wanted a young hot star to get the girls in the movies.
Well, and that's exactly what it is, because if you look at a lot of Keanu Reeves' his resume of films, he was in Dangerous Liaisons, where it's really like Bill and Ted meets the Renaissance. Yeah, where he's like, "Hearth now, dude." It's just. That's just his style. He's kind of outgrown that now. He's gotten a little better with that in his acting career now, but back then, no, he's better now. He's more aware.
He can grow a beard now.
No, he can't.
He's not better, but they just stopped trying to cast him in roles that don't need Keanu Reeves. Anything he's in now, they say, okay, we need a Keanu Reeves character. Let's get Keanu Reeves. This is like, oh, we need a new character. Let's get that kid Keanu Reeves. No. You can't do it that way. When he's like Keanu Reeves in Dracula, all I can think of is, dude, you want me? The FBI wants to pay me to become a vampire.
I'm an FBI agent. That's probably my favorite line in Point Break.
They should have gotten the kid.
Is where he's trying to deliver that line seriously enough where it's like, I don't buy it anyway.
I love the fact they're remaking Point Break, so everybody that idolizes that movie can go back and just fucking watch it. Just, oh yeah, I forgot I was 14 when I saw that. I should shut up. They should have got what's the name of the guy that played Ted?
Alex Winter.
No, Bill.
Alex Winter. Because he was in Lost Boys.
Alex Winter should have played Dracula. Not Dracula, Dr. Seward.
Yeah, sure, why not?
You know how far I got into the film before I started criticizing it?
Maybe 15 minutes.
15 minutes? How about the minute they showed Dracula in his slim Goodbody armor? Like, what the fuck is that?
I had that guy come to my school when I was a kid.
Me too.
Oh, did you really?
Yes.
He came to my grammar school.
Oh, wait, we're talking about Slim Goodbody and not Dracula, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
with
sure.
the guy that wore the spandex with the body parts on the outside. Yeah. Oh yeah, I vividly remember that.
How fuck was our childhood? Man, no clue. Let's get the guy in spandex to talk to kids about their bodies for an hour. That's a good idea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Once that armor came up, and I was like, and then and that's the whole, for people listening that might not have seen the film. That's the whole beginning is the history of how Dracula became Dracula, and so they take Vlad Tepes and make up a history around him.
And his suit of armor, I haven't decided on your challenge yet. I got a couple in my head, but his suit of armor is
The meat armor.
It reminds me of a movie of which my challenge could be to you, and it does fall within the Halloween theme. So, but what's interesting about that, this is our last episode that's actually within the Halloween month.
Yeah. So, I mean, if we don't have that much to say about the film as we're reviewing it, I think we should be just like open game, unlike as opposed to normal episodes where we just like, veer off into anything about Halloween horror films, whatever.
Oh, I'd be fine with that. Sure.
But yeah, but that's as far as I got into it before. I was like, fuck this.
Now,
and I forgot how much of this film was a romance.
Oh God, me too. And I like this movie, but when it goes into that romantic, I love you too much. It's like, enough, all right? Just okay, Gary. We know you can act. We get it.
It was. I love you. Oh my God, forgive me. I do.
Totally, dude. But oh man, yeah, the whole romantic aspect of it. This is a 2 hour and like 15 minute movie, somewhere in that range.
Oh, yes, it is.
And if they cut all the romantic shit out of it, it'd probably be a good solid 90 minutes. And I think I mean I still enjoy the film, but I think I would like it more if it took all that part out.
Well, they go through the trouble of like assembling their like monster squad of Dr. Seward and the cowboy and the fiance and and Van Helsing, and then all they really do is just like run around and break caskets for a couple of minutes, and everything else is just, well, let's go back and listen to Winona Ryder pine over this guy that looks like a cross between Tom Petty and Willy Wonka, like he's a fucking hot catch.
Well, yeah. And you had Tom Waits as Renfield, who underutilized in the film completely.
I'm telling you, even rewatching this, my original memory is correct 100%. Best part of the movie is Seward shooting up in the fucking office while Renfield's in the background. Just fucking Richard E. Grant and Tom Waits. They should have given them their own like spin-off TV show.
Yeah.
One's a drug crazed psychologist. The other one's a lunatic that eats bugs. Together they solve crimes. I would have tuned in.
Yeah, with
This
Nail
was
and
originally
I
supposed to be a
plus
TV
one.
show.
What?
This was originally supposed to be a TV show
Oh,
until
yeah.
it went to Francis Ford Coppola.
That didn't like Winona Ryder like fuck over the guy that was making it by taking it to Coppola.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, this should be a movie. That's right. I'll steal this project from this person and do it myself. Yeah, thanks, Winona.
What's interesting about Winona Ryder being in this film is she was supposed to be in The Godfather Part 3, also directed by Coppola, but she was she actually as the story goes, she was overworked. Like she was doing Heathers and she was doing Edward Scissorhands and she was just back to back films.
It was a 6-month shoot.
How about this? How about Coppola said, you know what? I think I want to put my daughter in this film. That's how that happened.
Biggest fucking mistake ever.
Not for Sophia.
Well, yeah, it was, because she didn't actually go on to do anything else until she decided, you know what, I'm going to try and direct, and actually ended up being successful at it.
Don't even get me started on
Anything behind the camera would have helped her.
Well, yeah.
it. Wow.
Oh,
Wow. You and Joey are going to get along great on this one.
my mother did nothing but make fun of her. Every time she was on screen in Godfather 3, she would just go, "Hello, Michael," and she'd twist her mouth in a weird way. Just, "Hello, Michael." It's because everybody knew she was wrong for the part. I don't understand how Winona Ryder would have been right for the part. She doesn't look even remotely Italian.
I don't
think she could have. I don't think she could have delivered it in Godfather 3.
I just completely lose all. You know what happened was all of a sudden Winona Ryder went from doing like Heathers and shit, and then next thing you know, she's doing like 10 period piece films in a row. Age of Innocence, this thing. It's like, all of a, as long as she was wearing a bustle, she wanted in.
Yeah,
I don't
fucking
get
Little
the
Women.
Shit.
It's like, Jesus.
Yeah, Little Women. I'm saying it was ridiculous, and I just can't accept her as a serious actress. I don't. I don't know. I don't think it's. Not sure. If it's
I think
fair,
her best
but
performance is her stabbing herself in the face in Black Swan.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, that is probably the most real acting she's done, and it was such a small part.
Yeah.
It's pretty believable. She hate herself, you know.
And the list of actresses to have them stab themselves in the face, yeah, I'm good with her on the list.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. I don't know, but
what did you didn't like Gary Oldman's performance in this? I mean, because he's solid.
All right, nothing wrong with Gary Oldman's performance. Nothing. Problem is, he's acting whatever the fuck Coppola was thinking. Not Coppola.
Coppola.
Yeah, Coppola.
The director.
Yeah, Coppola. Whatever the fuck Coppola had in his mind, Gary Oldman was doing. Not a bad actor. He's just stuck in this shitty movie. No, not knocking him. I'm not even knocking Keanu Reeves. Again, Keanu Reeves does what Keanu Reeves does. Problem is, they didn't realize that.
Well, yeah. Didn't he get like third billing too? Like, or
of course.
It was like Oldman. No. It was Oldman, Winona Ryder, Hopkins, then Keanu Reeves.
Hopkins is great.
All that fits on a poster. Those four names.
They nailed what Hopkins' character should have been: eccentric, off base. I mean, one of the few times where joy entered my life during this film was like during the funeral, where it's like, "We need to get her body." He says, "What? I just want to cut off her head and cut out her heart."
Yeah,
like,
he does that. He does that twice, where it's like, "Is this supposed to be funny? Because I'm laughing."
It is. I mean, the whole idea of this academic guy, eccentric academic who has like no social skills, doesn't even realize how crazy he sounds.
Yeah,
perfectly makes sense.
Because he's like, an autopsy? What? He goes, I don't want to do an autopsy. It's like you said, I want to cut off her head and tear out her heart.
I mean, he should be. I mean, that's one of the few things the film gets right. He should be the opposite of Dracula. He's not methodical and calculating. He's just he's an academic who's chasing down this guy who made his life manipulating people. That made perfect sense. I love that. I even like the whole thing. Like, hey, wait a minute. I know what's going on here. Let me go cut off some heads. It's just like, to the point. He knows what the fuck's happening.
Yeah.
And again, Dr. Seward. I love what they did with the character. Him shooting up in the insane asylum. He lives along maniacs. He's got a secret crush that he's like any psychologist, psychiatrist or psychologist in the world. He's more than fucked up himself. That's the only reason you go into psychology or psychiatry even more so, is because you're crazy to begin with.
Yep.
That's why someone we know went to college for that, but then he had to drop out. That's why. So I'm just pointing that out. And Richard E. Grant has always been good. He was great. I don't think this film was filled with bad acting. It was filled with bad ideas.
It does fit that mold. I mean, the things that it does right, it does have a good cast, minus Keanu. The acting is very good. The cinematography of the film, I think it was even nominated. I don't remember if it won, but the cinematography is, through the roof. Horrible. What's wrong with you? It is not horrible.
It is horrible.
The cinematography in this film is beautiful.
Horrible.
Okay, what's horrible about it? I'll tell you what's good about it if you can tell me what's horrible about it.
I'll let you. You have a say on this, Dad?
No, I thought it was great.
Damn it!
I did.
All right. Well, you guys go ahead and wax poetic about it, and then I'll jump in and action.
Okay. It's just all the little things that he does, Coppola, like little details, the way he sets up a room, the way he lights it, the landscapes are good. There's even a scene in the film that looks exactly like a scene at a Ladyhawke in the beginning of the film of Ladyhawke, where the sun is rising, but in this version it's actually setting. It's the climax of the movie. But Coppola knows cinematography. He knows how to film a scene. He knows how to center a camera, the point of camera, the focal point. It's done that way through the whole film. It's, I dare even say, almost perfect. Mr. Wilson?
Yeah, no, it just set the mood. The lighting was what really
everything
set the mood. Yeah.
There's not one shot in the film that I would say looked bad. Everything from the recreated sets of London, when you're just walking through the streets, to everything in Dracula's castle. You know, the way the scenes felt cold, you know, because it's a stone building. Things like that. And what?
No, go ahead.
Well, that was kind of the end of my point. So, all right, Scott, what's horrible then?
All right, the main problem with the cinematography, besides the fact that he keeps going from his own stylized visions to, let me rip off German expressionism just enough so it looks like I know what I'm doing, and then go back to whatever the fuck it is that looks good on camera. He goes in and out of ripping off German expressionism like Cabinet after Caligari and shit. He can't make up of his mind which Dracula he's making a film about. So you got.
I don't hold that against him. I really don't.
Now,
I don't, because Dracula has been done so many times to try and utilize even a little bit from even the one with Bela Lugosi. It's why not? He even used the famous line by Lugosi from the 1931.
I never drink wine. Yeah, it's in there.
Well, no, the other one too. The Creatures of the Night. What beautiful music they make. That's in there too. I think there's one more, and I can't remember it right now.
You know what I did right after this? I put on Love at First Bite with George Hamilton. Only reason I thought of that was because the opening is him playing the piano and there's the howling outside. Children of the Night, shut up!
Oh my god! I can't tell you how many times I've seen that. Holy shit, that movie. Not your challenge, by the way.
How about his insistence on, again, we know it's a big budget film. He's, sets and everything, sparing no expense. But every now and then, let's go back to like the special effects from the 1930s and just do like the shitty, matte scope. Hey, let's put his eyes in the clouds and do it very badly on purpose. And let's make this barrier, this magic open sesame barrier of the castle, just the worst fucking sci-fi channel, just blue shit over it. And let's make sure that whenever they're on the train, we show like a model train. So, it's so bad that you expect to see one of my kids running it. Let's just keep doing that and remind people that, I'm trying to be quaint at the same time that I'm blowing all this money on special effects to turn Dracula's castle into a fucking mystery spot from Idaho.
How much money did they spend on this?
I didn't even look. A lot.
Let's see. 40 million. Not a lot. Not for 1992. Made 215 million.
Yeah, of course it did. They got my money. I was there.
I didn't get to see it in a theater.
Oh, I would have traded with you.
Now the cinematographer is Michael Ballhaus.
I'm not blaming him. He does what he's told.
Well, or Michael Balus, and he's German. So there you go.
It's like in the insane asylum later on where they've got Renfield and they've got his 30 feet Tim Burton arms stretched out on either side.
Right.
It's like, what the fuck are you doing except just trying to be like, just what the fuck is that supposed to be except just weird? If you're selling this as a love story, why are you throwing all this shit in? And like the purposely bad special effects where Gary Oldman slices open his chest with a fingernail, and it's like, okay, so you didn't want that to look like real flesh. Okay, why'd you bother that? Why would you do that? That's, by the way, my favorite worst line of the whole film. Take me away from all this death.
Also delivered by Winona Ryder, so.
Yeah. Fucking.
So the cinematographer he's basically Scorsese's guy, and Coppola pretty much just borrowed him, because he's done just about everything Scorsese's done, almost. And he did Age of Innocence, so. I
thought it was Scorsese.
It is Scorsese, but I'm not gonna fucking say it. I just like correcting you. It's Martin Scorsese.
Scorsese.
I do it because I know it bugs you.
I hate that shit.
I know you do. But it is pronounced Scorsese, not
No, it's
Sazy.
not. No, it's not.
It sure is. There's video of Martin Scorsese saying it like that.
Yeah, if I mispronounce my name, is that the correct way to say it?
Everyone pronounces my last name wrong.
No. Well, it's like Bela Lugosi. I've always heard it Bela Lugosi. You've always heard it everywhere, but and all of a sudden now people are Bela. So where the fuck do you get Bela? Oh, somebody looked up like how they say things in Romania or whatever. Fuck you. It's still Bella. I'm not. Well, he said Bella. He fucking said Bella when you listen to him. All of a sudden, we're going to start saying Bela. No. Sorry. Not happening.
No, I'm not.
It's like when all of a sudden newscasters stopped saying via and started saying via.
I say via.
But for the longest time it was via. Then all of a sudden one day, everybody's changing it to via. Somebody corrected somebody and everybody else fell in the line.
I've always just said via. That's just how I've always said it. I don't remember hearing it that way.
It used to be via. For a long time it used to be via, and then fucking newscasters switched to via, and I'm not doing it.
Well, you can say via.
I know.
Tomato.
It's tomato.
I'm not saying it's not.
Here's
the part where Renfield's eating bugs, and he's like, they're full of protein. They're good for you. Which is not wrong. I mean, they are full of protein. They're gross.
I think what should have happened is someone should have taken Tom Waits, and you know how the original Dracula, at night, the Spanish Dracula, they would just come in and use the same sets at night, and make that version.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, actually, the Phantom events. They're doing they stream movies to theaters that have like the digital nationwide. That's where Riff Track shows all their theater films. For Halloween, they're showing both Draculas back to back. The Todd Browning alcoholic version, and then the superior Spanish version. But that's what they would do. They would just come in at night and do the same film, but they would do their own film using the same sets, and they filmed their own Dracula. They should have done the same thing. They should have told Tom Waits and Richard Grant, so listen, you guys, when we're not using these sets, you come in and just make your own Dracula film. That's it. Are you kidding me? If you just told Tom Waits to write a fucking Dracula film, I'm not saying it'd be good, but it'd be fucking interesting, and it wouldn't be a goddamn love story.
And he'd have an album revolved around it too. At least that would be good.
He'd actually just write the music and then tell Richard, now just something around that. That's it. That's all you need. That'd be great. Sure,
why not? Now they're beating Tom Waits. I love the helmets that they're wearing with the wire mesh on the face. So the insane asylum. Anyone that's in there, don't claw out their eyes or try and bite their face.
The guy with the box on the head, I buy all of that. None of that's like too far-fetched for me.
No, I'm sure that's exactly what they wore.
You know what? The other thing in the film that I thought was unneeded and stupid, but at the same time, I 100% buy it, was when they had the whole... Coppola's a filmmaker, so of course he has to have this whole thing about film coming out at the same time. So, the moving pictures, and how do you call that art? Bob, fuck you. And then so they have the whole scene where all these people milling around watching these...
pornography, basically.
Films. Yeah, and they show pornography, and I was like, okay, so the film's saying we invented the moving picture, and then 10 minutes later we made the first porn. And the minute I said that, I said, and I believe that 110%.
Just like the internet.
Just like the internet, exactly.
Yeah, the internet was pure for about 8 seconds.
You had the spam cam, and then next thing you know, it was underage porn. That was the order of thing. It was.
I remember back in the days of AOL, that was the only way you could get internet, and you go into all the chat rooms and the photo rooms, and you basically get porno pictures, and because of dial-up, it would slowly just line by line by line just load up, and then
slowly building.
Right, and then you get to the point of no return where you can't unsee what you just saw.
Right.
Like back then, the internet actually gave you a fighting chance.
Like waiting for more. She has a penis. Click. No, too late.
Yeah, too late.
But
tell you how many times that's happened.
No, the first 2 or 3 years of internet, it was literally, you could trace it as Al Gore, spam cam, porn. That's it.
That's it.
So So I totally buy that, except everybody's walking around just like slightly amused and stuff. And yeah, because it was a novelty. It wasn't like a huge breakthrough in fucking, cultural. I also kind of resent Coppola making this big love story, but keep trying to like inject like the sexiness in it. Like, Mina comes across these erotic Japanese pictures she's got laying around because her friend's kind of a whore.
Yeah, redhead, of course.
Yeah, just to try to like the inject the sexuality outright because he's ignoring that in the Dracula character and making him more romantic. So we since he's not the sexual being that we're kind of used to advertising at.
Yeah, wasn't she juggling like at least 3 men at one time that she was considering marrying?
At least.
At least.
And then cock-teasing Seward relentlessly, the bitch. She deserved to have her head cut off.
Yeah, even when she turns, it's that she's at her worst.
The one thing I read I liked about it is that the little girl that her friend brings in when she's a vampire in the crypt. She hears a little baby cry. Like, that kid had no idea what was going on and had not been prepared to have
really?
10 takes. Yeah, she's crying and shit. She's scared.
She's a stripper or doing porn at this point.
Yeah, they had to sweet talk her back into the other scenes.
Yeah, like apparently after the first take, she was like, "No, I'm scared. I don't want to be near this fucking thing."
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing. I'm sure she didn't have to say that.
Yeah, well, you never know.
Yeah,
Child actors.
Yeah, I stumbled upon this just before we started recording, and I gotta mention it real quick.
Okay.
I always skim through the message boards on IMDb just to find stupid things that people say, and I came across this one guy who's a fucking genius. Thank God he's out there. I'll give him credit. But somebody, people just don't get what they have to be confused about. So this one person was saying, Van Helsing. There's the scene where he's in the garden with them, trying to explain to them how there is such a thing as magic in the world. And they turn, like he's talking right next to them. They turn around, and all of a sudden he's gone, and he appears like on the other side of the garden and says, "See, there is magic all around us." So the guy's like, "How did he do that?" I mean, he's not magical. How did he do that? I mean, and everybody's like, "Dude, shut the fuck up." It's not. It's you're missing the whole point of that scene. This one person posted, and the person's name on IMDb is M. Purvis Matt P. So I'm not sure what that means. And this is back from 2000. No, he actually posted this 2015, August. But a bunch of people just like saying, "Oh, it's just about magic, blah, ignore it." And this guy comes out of nowhere and says, Van Helsing was indeed a super fast runner. He was a high school state champion, Najalgum High, class of 1858, and was often referred to by the name Abe Hell on Wheels Van Helsing. His Olympic dreams were squashed, however, when he moved to England and promptly tore his right ACL in a freak accident involving a horse-drawn cart hauling a large load of rutabagas. By all accounts, Van Helsing did not look both ways before crossing the excrement-encrusted street of London and was struck and trampled, leaving his leg a bloody mess. This incident was later described by an onlooker as a bloody, unfortunate accident. It was just really tragic, blah, blah, blah. It was just... And he goes on for like another full paragraph, giving his like running history, that why he was able to move across so fast. I just had to mention it because it made me laugh.
It's funny. Yeah, people take shit too seriously, it seems, for the wrong movies too. They see other films that they should be shitting on, and they don't. And a film like this, it's a come on. Stop.
It's like the second person on that stream was like, "You can believe that Dracula can turn in the fog, but you're confused by this?" Oh, come on.
That's right.
But I mean, everything like he just took it too far. He took having him turn to the bat and the wolf, and having he's talking to the wolves now, and we'll put his eyeballs in the sky, and things drip upside down, and because physics don't work properly in Dracula's castle. Come on. If he wanted to do, and that all proves the fact that he wasn't trying to make a romance. Because if he wanted to make a romance, he would have done like the Frank Langella 1970s Dracula and just went straight for that was a fucking romance. That's Frank Langella just being Frank Langella, and just trying to, turn these women around him. That's it. And but they have to throw all this other shit in and turn it into like a 2.5 hour fucking stroke fest about look how well I can do weird things with a camera.
Yeah, well,
It was like a dream sequence.
Yeah, I was praying for a dream sequence. I was like, at least that would make sense.
When this film came out, it came out in '92. It was right around the time that video game system Genesis came out with the insanely expensive Sega CD, and one of the first games that ever came out for it was this movie, Dracula. And it was, and I had to own it because there was like 6 games for the Sega CD, and I hated the game, but the 2 things I remember most about the game were the fact that it used full motion video, and scenes from the movie were in the game, like the scene that just happened where Keanu Reeves has got a camera right in his face when the vampires, Dracula's brides, are eating the baby.
Oh yeah.
And the scene of the close up on Gary Oldman, doing the thing with his hands and laughing, which is in the trailer, and the score, which is also excellent in this movie.
What the hell do you do in a Coppola Dracula video game?
That's the thing. To this day, I still don't know. I remember the first level, or one of the first levels, is you're going through Dracula's castle, and you're just avoiding like his brides. They're coming at you, and like there's wolves, and I think I'm even remembering it wrong. It was so bad.
That's like making a video game out of The Room. What the fuck are you gonna do with it? There is literally no action scenes in the film that translate to a video game.
You got to get to the flower shop so you can go, "Hello, doggy. You're my favorite customer."
Oh, actually, the Room game would just be you trying to get out of the movie. That would be
yeah. I can't wait for the movie that they're making off of the book that the one actor in the film wrote.
Oh, the destruction, the disaster artist.
Yeah.
Oh, I honestly, I got 3 chapters into it. It is fucking hilarious. I just wish I gotta get back to finishing it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, James Franco and Seth Rogen are doing it.
Oh, that's gonna be fucking amazing. It's just that.
I just don't know who Seth Rogen's gonna be.
Oh, Seth Rogen's gonna be. He's got to be Dave. Or what's his name? The character, the guy that wrote the book. That's got to be Seth Rogen.
No.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
Yeah,
Seth Rogen isn't tall enough. He's not thin enough.
No. But he's gonna play that character because
maybe he'll be the meat underwears guy.
Franco's got to play. What's his name?
Oh, Franco. Oh, yeah. He's playing. He's playing him. Oh, what the fuck?
I'm blanking. I'm blanking. Yeah. Why am I blanking?
Oh, I don't remember, Scott.
Hi, Seth Rogen. You're gonna be my best buddy ever.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, they said James Franco is getting all like stupid ripped because of how dumb he looks without his shirt on. He actually mentioned it on Howard Stern. He's like, because Howard Stern said, you're generally in pretty good shape all the time. You look like you're in like really good shape right now. He goes, yeah, I'm making that movie, The Room, and I got to play that guy who's like really stupid ripped. He goes, so I'm like getting in better shape than I should because he looks really dumb when he's like got his shirt off.
I need to go back and finish that book now because it was funny. And
Tommy Wiseau. Tommy
Wiseau.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Joey. Thanks for remembering that for me.
Yeah.
That's it. I got a special fan edit of the. I have The Room with the Riff Tracks commentary.
Oh no.
And somebody went back and did a special edit of the film for Riff Tracks, but with all the sex scenes cut out. He's like, because he said it's great, and they do their best to try to be entertaining during those parts, but for the love of God, no, we just need. That's not why I'm watching it. So it's like 25 minutes shorter.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that long with all the love shit.
But
crazy.
yeah, no, I didn't like Dracula.
I can tell. Yeah, for sure.
Now,
Do we want to rate this? Kind of move on with the show and talk about just
Sure.
other things.
sure, Dracula is currently at. Come on, give me back to
It's
Dracula.
it's pretty high.
7.5. Fuck that. Like the
Well,
used
you
cars.
got
That's
you got a 2-1 vote. So
used cars. That's too fucking high. I blow up Dracula behind me.
I think a 7 is too high. I think I'd be okay with a 6.
I'll go with 6. I'm cool with 6. What do you think?
Yeah, 6 is all right.
All right.
Yeah, I think 6
6.
would be fine.
I don't even I want to see the demographics on this.
Oh, it's good. You're gonna have a lot of female demographics, I think.
134.
1,000.
It's boring. 8's the highest rating.
Oh
and
God, it's literally straight down the line.
Straight down the line. Everybody's 7 something. Including the IMDb staff.
Yeah, they loved it.
Those fuckers. Yeah, so I'm not even going into that. Yeah, that's just depressing. All right. Well, I mean, going off of that, vampire films.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's always end up going back to the same things. Vamp was my favorite movie. Love Vamp.
Vamp is great. That's why I'm not
Near Dark-
challenging it to you, because I don't even want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, anybody that was into 80s horror films at all, Near Dark is classic. You can't even.
Yep. Again,
touch-
I mean, I'm not going to challenge you to that either.
Now,
If I was going to do that, it would have been 2 weeks ago.
I remember Frank Langella's Dracula. I mentioned that. I've never seen the film, but as a kid, I remember being scared by the movie because my parents were watching at one point, and all I remember is Frank Langella like scaling a wall, like climbing up the side of a building.
Right.
And then
I remember seeing only bits and pieces of the Frank Langella one.
That's the only part I remember, and I remember for some reason that scared the hell out of me. I was like, ah.
Really?
That's all.
Not as bad as when you watched The Blob and walked upstairs to your bedroom and we had the red beanbag chair there.
Oh.
You and your brother both freaked out. You ran back downstairs.
Now, was it The Blob or Revenge of the Blob? Or Return of the Blob?
Was it Blob, the Blob from '88 or the original one with Steve McQueen?
It was from '88.
Yeah.
I remember being scared.
See, that confirms it, Joey, because we were talking about the Blob earlier, and I told you that when I grew up, I never saw the original Blob. The Blob that I saw as a kid was the shitty sequel in the like early '80s, late '70s.
The late okay.
Yeah, so that he just confirmed it for me. Thank you.
I remember seeing the Blob from '88 and being scared of that because of the whole germ warfare thing, and not trusting our government. It's like, yeah, that could happen.
What? How old were you? I don't know. I was just scared of the big red thing that was hurting people.
12 years old.
And you're anti-government then?
It was always a topic in my house. Like it was always something I got secondhand where my father would be like, yeah, the fucking government, yeah, they'd fucking do that. And my mother would be like, yeah, motherfuckers. It's like, all right. It's like we're trying to watch this horror movie. So it always freaked me out that it's just like, yeah, it was a government-made, problem.
That's interesting because I was never taught to mistrust the government. I had to grow to mistrust the government on my own.
Maybe it had to do with the fact that my parents aren't from this country normally.
No. So they're smarter than most Americans. Any final comments?
No, I'm good.
No, on the movie or the tangents you went off on?
Anything. What tangents?
No.
You know, it's funny.
What does he mean tangents? What's he talking about?
He's talking about the normal show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Confusing.
There's a scene that's going on now where they're petting a white shepherd, and that was like vaguely reminiscent of that scene in Manhunter.
I've never seen a black shepherd.
Huh?
Oh, there's black shepherds.
Every film I've ever seen with somebody like flocks of sheep, they've always been white. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, he's talking about German Shepherd dog.
I'm talking about a dog.
I didn't like a shepherd. Like I didn't remember the date. I didn't remember them petting.
The scene in the film where they're petting a white German shepherd.
Oh,
a white,
I thought you meant like a sheep herder, that kind of thing.
No. Well, anyway, that scene was like vaguely reminiscent of the scene in Manhunter where they're petting the tiger, like where she's like the way she's petting this dog.
Any film with Gabriel Byrne playing a Nazi, it's going to be good.
Actually, it's probably a white wolf, to be completely honest.
Oh, who cares?
Well,
It's probably a black wolf they spray painted white and he died 2 weeks later.
to be fair, that tiger did die about a year later. Got cancer. I wonder why. Unreal. All right, so we rated this film a 6. We have Scott's challenge of the keep for next week.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Yeah.
We're gonna head out.
Oh, yes, we are.
Oh yeah, we are.
And then if you're listening to this and you're thinking to yourself, I'd love to hear the same thing, but just with nothing about movies in it, then you want to listen to Strangers in a Strange Land.
Yeah, which we're gonna go do right now. So this is episode 188. Can you believe we've been doing this that fucking long?
Yes.
Yeah, I can too.
You're welcome.
Uh-huh. All right. So go ahead and go to our website at Moviesucktastic.com. You can listen to the show live every Thursday at 8 o'clock, right from the website. Or you can go to livestream.com/Moviesucktastic. You can download every single episode we have right there on the site, or you can listen to it right there on the site. Your choice. You can go to iTunes.com, and you can also listen or download the show there as well. You can go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Moviesucktastic. Everything we do online-wise is there. Movie trailers, news, our random thoughts are there. You can go to our Tumblr page at moviesucktastic.tumblr.com.
Oh, I got
If you want to leave us email, the address is themovieguys@moviesucktastic.com. If you want to give us a phone call, please do. We will play it on the show. 908-514-4470. And go ahead and download the free Android app. Make sure you go and get that. Everything I just said is in that in one tidy little package. And, of course, like I just said, 100% free.
Oh, yeah.
And, if you do a general search on your favorite search engine, Scott likes Google.
Google it.
You'll find us anywhere. Just do a search for Moviesucktastic. And that about does it. And I want to thank Scott's dad, Mr. Wilson, Mike, for joining us. It was a pleasure. So make sure... I'm sorry.
No, it was a pleasure being with you guys.
All right, awesome. Scott, do you have any wisdom?
Oh, wow.
I guess not. I think it got disconnected.
I never drink wine.
All right, everybody. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
So long.
Bye. Blah.